These spatulas are so easy to make out of your scrap wood, some thin stock, whatever you got laying around, hardwood preferably. These are cherry, and maple works better. I have a maple one I made a couple months ago. Been using it every day, and it holds up really well. So this is good for cooking in a hot pan, stirring food, picking it up, frying eggs, whatever. You can wash them with soap and water when you're done. And these are great. Easy to make. Great gifts. So here we go. I'll show you how we make it. Okay, I'm trying to determine whether this is a spurtle or is it a spatula. I think it's a spatula. I've made spurtles, so they look a little different. Let me know in the comment below. I'd like to find out what you think. Okay, this is my template for a little wooden spatula. I've got some thin cherry wood that I've milled here. So I'm going to take and cut a couple of these out of here, and then we'll put them on the sander here, shape them a little bit, and these, I use them all the time when I'm cooking here. So does the wife, so they're awesome. So here we go. Okay, so this is a quick and easy project. So I'm going to just cut this out on the bandsaw here. You could do this on a jigsaw if you got it. Let's get started. All right, so we're going to put it on here, and we're going to flatten this back a little bit, make it into a point, and then back here we'll do a little bit of a recess here. And that's pretty much it. Okay, I'll take them over and do a little sanding on them, and we'll see what we end up with here. I like doing this out of maple. They hold up a lot better. Cherry's a little softer. The maple does really well. And then the finish we put on these is tung oil, and so the tung oil will hold up to the hot liquids and cooking and grease and everything, so it holds up really well. So we'll do that. Okay, I'll start off with some 100 grit here on a palm sander, and then we'll go on down to 220. So it'll be good. All right, I'm going to go down to 320 by hand here, and then we'll water pop these, spray them with a little bit of water, and then that'll raise the grain, and then we'll hit it again with this, let them dry, and they're ready for finish. So I'll do that and be back. Okay, we'll put a little water on these guys here, a little sprayer. Be good. Okay, well, it goes, we're gonna let these guys dry. We'll come back and sand them again. Okay, after putting some water on these, let them dry, water popping now, you can feel that the grain is raised up on them again. So I'm gonna hit this again with some 320, and then we'll put some of that tung oil on these things. That tung oil is a really good finish for this kind of a thing here. So take several coats, and if you know anything about tung oil, it takes a while to dry. So these, you know, you can just use mineral oil on them if you want. Get them out of your shop. But the better product is the tung oil. It's 100 times better in my opinion. So we'll get the sand in these, and then come back and we'll put some tung oil on them. Okay, like I said, I'm going to put some tung oil on this. I'm going to use the pure tung oil by Walrus Oil. This is some pretty good stuff. And then I'm going to cut it 50%. So I'm going to go 50-50 with some citrus solvent. Real Milk Paint Company puts this out, and it's really good. So I'll link these two in the description below. But I'm going to probably do 2 coats of this thinned up like this. Get it into the wood really good, and then I'll do 2 coats of just the pure tung oil, and it takes a good 24 hours in between coats in a pretty warm environment. So some good stuff. I'll put that on, and this being thinned out like this kind of gets down into the wood good, so when you're cooking with these things, you get a little more protection. So get a good coverage. So we'll let that kind of soak in there. And this stuff goes a long ways, man. And you want to use pure tung oil too, because if you're cooking with these things there, you don't want any chemicals. They're not natural in your food, so at least I don't. So there we go. We'll let those soak for a minute. We'll wipe them off and let them set up for a while in a warm spot. Okay, this is 2 coats of the thinned pure tung oil with citrus solvent. So now I'm just going to go with 100% pure tung oil. Do probably 2 rounds, 2 coats, probably be good enough. So this stuff just doesn't take very much. So we'll put that on here on these guys. Stuff goes a long ways. After I get this coat on here, I'm going to take some wet and dry sandpaper. I think this is 600, and then we'll just kind of sand it in. That'll force some of this tung oil into the wood grain, so it'll force it in there and then smooth out any rough spots or raised grain that we've got going on here. So shouldn't have too much, but that helps. Okay. So that's that part there. I'll just take this and get it all kind of rubbed in there. This really helps drive that tung oil into the wood. Okay. good. I got most of it kind of driven into the wood, so soaked into the wood here. So we'll set these back in warm spot, let them go for another 24 hours. We'll do another coat. Okay, this is my warm spot that I've been putting these in, and this is kind of like a little makeshift warm spot to put little things I'm making and using that tung oil on. So right now I've only got those two in there. I have a little controller. This is a controller for it runs little heat mats for when I start seeds. So there's a little setting unit inside the box here. So I'm gonna open this up. You can see how I just quickly used a few things, rods and dowels and some copper rods in here just to make some places to put things. And so there we go. We got some shelves in here. Got a couple of heat mats down below there plugged into that controller. And so it heats it up in here. I got it set for 70 degrees. It keeps it pretty close to that in here, and it's been in the low 40s in my shop here. So this seems to work out pretty good for a little makeshift warm place. So there you go. Kind of hokey, but you know, it works pretty good. Okay, let's get these out of that little warm spot here. It's loose. Nice and warm in there. There they are. We'll take them over here and we'll wipe them down. Soaked a lot in there, it's pretty dry. All right, we'll get these wiped off. And we'll see how they do here. See how it does. Okay. Okay, I brought these in the kitchen. They're all set up here, dried. We're gonna probably give them a little test run here, maybe fry an egg or something like that. But these are fun and easy to make, so we'll give that a shot, see what it looks like. This one here I've used for a long time and it works really well. We're gonna give it a little test run here, at least one of them a test run, show you how they work. These are the easiest thing to make, just out of scrap wood, whatever. You've seen how it was, it's a pretty simple process. Okay, we'll head over to the frying pan. Using soap and some hot water here. Get that all cleaned off. So that's the good thing about this finish versus mineral oil. this finish stays on there a lot longer and protects the wood a lot longer. So I like it. I hope you like it too. Easy to make. Just get out there and do it.